Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into one of the most important jobs on the planet, raising a child. We're going to draft the blueprint for building a happy, strong, and truly resilient human being. So, let's start with a big question, one that I think every parent asks themselves. In a world this complicated, how do we get our kids ready for it? Well, the answer might actually be hidden in the small, everyday moments. Right, so we're going to approach this just like an architect would. We're not just talking about abstract ideas here. We are literally creating a practical blueprint you can use, and we're starting where any good build starts, with the foundation. Every great building needs a solid base, right? And when it comes to parenting, well, that foundation gets poured in the first 3 months. The care we give here isn't just about supporting a baby, it's about laying the groundwork for the entire person they're going to become. Okay, first up, this number might look a little crazy, especially if you're a new parent, but it's the first thing you have to get your head around. A newborn's main job is just to sleep. Seriously, 18 to 20 hours a day is totally normal. Their whole world is really simple. Eat, sleep, and grow. So the newborn checklist? It's pretty short, but man, is it crucial. For nutrition, it's just milk. That's it. After they eat, a good 15-minute burping session is your best friend. Keeps them comfy. And before you know it, you'll start seeing those first amazing signs of development, like them getting control of their neck, and, of course, those first smiles that just melt your heart. Okay, but listen, if you take away only one thing from this section, please let it be this. This is not just a suggestion, it is the single most important thing you can do to protect against sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, especially in those first 6 months. It is such a simple action, and it literally saves lives. All right, so we've got the physical foundation poured and set. Now we move inside, into the world of thoughts and feelings. And this is where we have to talk about the dangers that are so much harder to spot, simply because you can't see them. This quote really just hits you, doesn't it? We can see a scrape or a bruise, but what our sources are telling us, loud and clear, is that the emotional harm from words, well, those can leave scars that are deeper and last way longer than any physical injury. So what are we talking about here? What exactly are these invisible wounds? They're caused by things we might not even realize are so damaging, like constant criticism, or always comparing your kid to a sibling or a friend, using insults, even if you think you're just joking. Or maybe the most painful one, just ignoring their feelings, which to a child feels a lot like being abandoned. Okay, I know that last part might sound a little heavy, maybe even a bit scary, but here's the good news. We have all the power to build, not to break. So let's open up the toolkit and look at some real, practical things we can do to build a strong and trusting relationship. And this right here, this is a total game changer. Think about it. When we only praise the result, wow, you're so smart. We're focusing on their IQ, sure, but we're also kind of teaching them to be afraid of failing. But when we praise the effort, I saw how hard you worked on that. We're building their emotional intelligence, their EQ. We're teaching them that trying hard is what counts, and that builds some serious resilience. Okay, here is another super powerful tool for your toolkit. A you message is basically an accusation. It just puts your kid on the defensive and builds a wall between you. But look what happens when you just flip it to an I message. You're just expressing how you feel. It completely changes a fight into a team project. It opens the door for real conversation instead of just slamming it shut. And this might just be the most powerful tool of all. And it's so simple. When we mess up, and we all do, and we give our kids a real, sincere, I'm sorry, we're not showing weakness. We are modeling what it means to be accountable. We're teaching them that relationships are worth fixing, and it is one of the absolute fastest ways to rebuild trust. All right, so any good architect knows you have to inspect the building, right? You've got to look for those little stress fractures before they become huge problems. And it's the exact same for us as parents. We need that same skill, learning how to read our children's emotional blueprints and figure out what they're trying to tell us when something's wrong. And you know what? That process starts with us. It's about taking a quick, honest look in the mirror. And hey, no judgment here. This is all about awareness. Are we really tuned into their world? Do we notice those small, kind of weird changes in how they act? And when we have to discipline them, are we doing it to teach them? Or are we just reacting out of our own frustration? And once we start paying attention, you'll start to notice that these SOS signals, these cries for help, they usually show up in one of two ways. Some kids internalize it. They pull back, get quiet, anxious.
Others externalize it. They act out, get aggressive, break rules. But here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter how it looks on the outside. Both are a loud and clear cry for help.
Okay, we've laid the foundation, we've talked about the hidden dangers, we've filled our toolkit, and we've learned how to read the warning signs. Now for the final, most important part of our blueprint, understanding the core emotional needs that are driving everything else.
This timeline just lays it all out so clearly. When they're an infant, their biggest need is safety. They need to learn that the world is a good, trustworthy place. As they grow into a child, that need evolves into love, that deep down feeling that they are valued and worthy just as they are. And then, as a teenager, it becomes all about support, knowing they have a secure home base to come back to as they go out and explore the world on their own.
So what's the point of all this? What are we building towards with this blueprint? It's to create something psychologists call secure attachment. It's that unshakable feeling a child carries inside them that no matter what happens, no matter how badly they mess up, their parents will be there for them. And that feeling, that is the absolute bedrock of lifelong confidence, resilience, and happiness. So as we wrap this up, the big question isn't about memorizing every single step of this blueprint. It's much simpler than that. It's about one thing. What words will you choose to build with today? What are you going to leave in your child's heart, starting right now?